Hello boys and girls, I thought it was about time I made another video because I haven't made one for a little bit, so here it is. As you can see, I've had my hair shaved. It looks like I've had a second op, but I haven't. I might at some point have a second op. At the moment I'm stuck on lockdown, as most of you probably are, working from home, so I'm doing the same hours as before but just at home. A lot of you have been saying to me, what would your hair look like after a hair transplant if you shave it? This isn't something I've done as short as this for a long time, since the op basically, which was 16 months ago. So this is it. I'll go over the top so you can see what it looks like. So that is what it looks like. Now you can see there's it's a bit lighter in certain areas, and these are where the hair is not as dense. My existing hair, the side bits there, they're a lot denser because that's my existing hair. The hair on top, and especially at the front, you can see it's slightly lighter. That's where it was transplanted, so it's not as dense. But I had FUE. I think even if I'd have had DHI, it's still never going to be as dense as your existing hair that you've had all your life, that's never balded at all. But I'm still really happy with it. But yeah, well, I shaved it a couple of days ago. I put it on some pictures on the internet. Some people like it and some don't. I personally don't mind it, but like, each to their own. One question I get a lot of the time is, do you have to have your hair shaved for the operation? No, some clinics do. A lot of clinics prefer it because I think it makes it easier for them. Some clinics don't insist on it. I think it depends more on what you're having done. If it's the crown at the back, then yeah, it's definitely easier, I think, if they do shave it. Some guys and girls who have just the front done, they have their hair tied back if it's long enough, or brushed back, and then what they do is they do still have to shave about 1 inch at the front, and then they put the transplanted hair in. I personally don't think it looks too bad. Some people get so het up about having their hair shaved, they're really worried about what it's going to look like or what their colleagues or friends are going to say, whereas, you know, it really, to me, it doesn't matter. I used to dye my hair blonde, bleach blonde, dye it blue, black, everything, so I'm things like that didn't really bother me as much. But some people literally get to the point where they're not having the op. They're not frightened of the needles or anything like that. They're more frightened about what people are going to say because they've shaven their hair. And if that's the only thing that's holding you back, then I really wouldn't that worry you. You know, who cares what people say if they're going to take the mick? A lot of guys have had their hair shaven who've not had it done before, and they end up loving it. Some guys actually stick with it, and you know, it's good to have the op because you can still have your hair short if you want to, or long if you want to. But like you can see, as always, I've not put any fibres or anything like that in. And further back, I think it looks right. If you look really closely though, you can see slightly where it's a little bit lighter, where it's been transplanted. It doesn't bother me, but it goes to show that if you grow it a little bit longer, you can't see that at all. It's only when you do shave it this short. This is a grade 2, a short grade 2, with the lever lifted up all over. I cut it on Saturday, so it's now Tuesday. Get muddled up with Easter. But yeah, that's what it looks like. I was actually surprised myself that you could still see some of the parts of where it's been transplanted. Some of it towards the back is fine because some of it was transplanted around there as well, and that was a bit thicker, a bit denser. But yeah, I've been getting a few questions. I'll just get my phone up to get some of your questions. Yeah, some people have asked, can I try and show the donut area, which is the sides, and they mentioned scarring. To be honest, I don't think, if I hadn't have told you I'd had an op, that you'd actually see much if anything, on my donor area. I'm more than happy with it, and hopefully there's enough for a second op if I decide to have one. But yeah, it looks fine to me. Sometimes I don't have it quite as short as that. But people say, oh, you know, it's easy for you to say yours went quite well. And yeah, I'm 99% happy with mine. I don't think there's anything they could have done extra. But yeah, at some point I might need a second op, because just to sort of maybe get a little bit more density if possible. And probably around the crown area. The crown's where they do last. And that just basically they start at the front and work back. And what's left over, they put into the crown. So it's a little bit sort of patchier on the crown area. I think a lot of guys get that, and you kind of know about that you probably will need a second op at some point. So if I do, yeah, I'll hopefully get the crown touched up a little bit. Some of the hairs, even now, you can feel they're a little bit more wiry, and that is usually the ones they've taken from the beard, I think, from under the chin. And again, got quite a big jawline. You can see it's, you know, there's no scarring or anything like that. If I hadn't said, you probably wouldn't have known if you did look under my chin that I'd had grafts removed from there. People are saying this week to me, do they inject directly up there? They seem to do it kind of towards the side. And as the anaesthetic sort of expands outwards, it kind of, the next one they put in kind of touches the existing anaesthetic, if that makes sense. It's already a bit numb, so it's probably the first needle is the one that probably stings more. Once you've had the first one done, the second one kind of touches on bits that are already numb, so it doesn't kind of hurt quite as much. I still didn't really think it hurt anywhere near what I thought it was going to. It's more of a sort of slight stinging. But yeah, I had a message today, I'm just reading on my screen. Someone wrote to me that they've said that body hair has only got a 50% survival rate, whereas beard and hair on top has hair on the sides and the back, the donut area, that has a 90% survival rate. So I've been pretty lucky. I think most of mine survived and it's doing fine. I'm still more than happy with it. I'm fine with the shaved look. We grow it back a little bit, but that's just how I've always had it. Yeah, a lot of people have said about in years to come, what happens if your hair on top starts balding? Now, I've had a few different people ask about this. Some people have said that they're worried about your transplanted hair. If the rest of it falls out, it's going to look a bit weird with a bit on top and then some bits bald. But the hair they take is DHT resistant, so that's why a lot of guys, if they go bald, it's near enough always on top. And your hair on your sides and your back, you never see guys with hair on top and just sides and back bald, because it's resistant. So that's why they take it from the sides and put it on top. If mine, when I'm sort of a lot older, does start coming out balding, the rest of it, then A, you could have another op if you wanted to, or B, by that age, hopefully, I probably wouldn't be as bothered about it, so I'll probably just shave it all off, like grade 1 or something. But yeah, it's not something I thought too much about when I was getting mine done. I'm kind of more interested in what it looks like now, and rather than sort of 20, 30 years in the future. I'm 45 now, so just wish I'd have had it done sooner, to be honest, so you can get the results. But yeah, so this is what it looks like shaven, because this is what a lot of people have said. And a lot of guys who have it done, they just grow it and grow it and grow it, and they don't shave it again. So I thought, you know, just see what it's like. If I don't like it, I can just let it grow back. But yeah, I'm still mega impressed with the hairline, where it goes round. It's probably better than what it ever was. It started receding when I started losing my hair in my 30s, going back, like the sides there, so I had a bit in the middle. Then it kind of had a little bit of a bald gap there, and it was kind of bald on the top, and especially around the crown. But yeah, another question I get is sleeping sitting up. They give you like a neck pillow in the op. It was kind of like a papery sort of one. It wasn't that comfy, so I'd always advise to take your own. The first night, you got lots of fluid and stuff pumped into your scalp. It does leak a bit. You kind of get, it's like blood or just liquid that they pumped into you. It starts So basically you don't want a really great pillow, neck pillow, if you're worried about it getting dirty, because it probably will the first night. So maybe just use the one the hospital give you for the first night. I binned mine while I was in Turkey because it got sort of a bit messy. Then when I came back, I just used the one that I bought. I slept 10 days sitting up. A lot of them say, you know, you can't sort of go on your sides, or you have to use the neck pillow and keep your sort of head up. I was like probably too cautious, and I slept sitting up. I had 2 pillows propped up on my headboard on my bed, and I just sat there. Luckily it was around Christmas. I had a week off before Christmas, and then I had my Christmas week off that the work gave me, and I just sort of watched TV until I was knackered, and then I just basically put my head down and slept. Yeah, it's a bit knackering, but you know, it was 10 days out of my life. It's nothing really, but like I said, I probably was a bit overcautious. Other things I get is people sort of say, oh, yours is completely perfect, and yeah, I'm very, very happy with it. I don't think they could have done any better, but you know, you can sort of look at it, and like I noticed there's a little bit just there where it probably could have done with a few more grafts. Maybe they didn't survive, or maybe they just didn't put some in, because there's a bit of a gap just there. But like I said before, if I'm mega happy with mine, I'm lucky, it's gone well. If I have another one, I really hope it goes just as well. And yeah, I'd definitely go back to the same place that I went. I said that from the beginning. I was very happy with the way they treated me. I was happy with the overall service, and I'd always go back. Yeah, again, somebody else was saying to me, you don't take finasteride. It's a complete waste of time if you're not going to take finasteride. I've said this quite a few times. I can't take finasteride because I give blood. They do not allow it. And some people say, what do you mean by giving blood? I mean, I donate blood to the National Blood Service in the UK. I go, I think it's 3 times a year, and they literally go mental if you so much as mention the word finasteride. They do not allow it, so I don't take it. I never have done. People are saying, you know, you're crazy, you're going to lose your hair again. Everyone's hair starts falling out, but you know, I take it seriously giving blood, so I've always done that. Especially at this time, you know, people need to give blood to help the hospitals. You never know when you're going to need it. But yeah, so for that reason, I can't take finasteride. Some people get side effects. I know it's only a small proportion of people, but I don't want to be taking it. Even if I could, I probably would try and get by without it. I take my saw palmetto, my biotin, my multivitamins, and my omega-3 fish oils. A lot of people say, well, they're not proven, but since I've had the op, and since I've been taking the saw palmetto, less hair seems to be falling out. It used to, in the shower, you'd always see in the plug hole quite a bit of hair, whereas now I see hardly any. How often do I wash it? I wash it probably 2 to 3 times a week at the moment. Now it's really short. I mean, it's easy. You just wash it and you can just dry it straight away. But usually when I've been out for a run, I'm probably running about 3 times a week at the moment. I go out because the social distancing and all that. I usually go out when it's dark. Just go out for my sort of an hour run and then come back and jump in the shower. So yeah, that's when I usually wash my hair. A lot of questions about shampoos. You can see all my items below. I've got an Amazon page I put on there. Yes, if you order stuff from there, I get a few pence back from that. I've always admitted that. On there I've put stuff that I've tried, or that I've seen good deals on and I'd like to try in future, or other things that people have recommended to me. So I've put them on the list for you to sort of look at. There's a few different sections. Obviously you're probably interested in the hair one. Other things I put on, like I'm into electronics, like gadgets and all that sort of stuff. Stuff I take at the moment is basically saw palmetto, biotin, multivitamins I've always taken for years now, and the omega-3s, which are supposed to be good for conditioning your hair and your heart. So check those out if you're interested. But like I say, it's up to you. I think most brands are pretty similar no matter where you buy them from. I get them from Amazon because I like having stuff delivered. Basically, I'm lazy. It saves me going into town buying from somewhere like Holland and Barrett. But they're just as good. They'll be fine. Or you can buy stuff from supermarkets even. I don't think they sell biotin, I'm not sure, but they do multivitamins and stuff like that. But I usually buy them in bulk on Amazon because it just works out cheaper. Yeah, shampoos, that's what I was going back to. They asked me about shampoos, and yeah, I've listed some that I've tried. I've tried some really expensive ones, I've tried cheap ones, I've tried the ones that you can get in home bargains, which I've also found on Amazon, the AAA caffeine shampoo. Some people like it. I find with the more expensive ones, sometimes they feel a bit more soapy and they smell nice, but apart from that, I personally don't pay 10 quid for a shampoo now. I pay 99p or whatever it is in Tesco's, so I just use cheap supermarket shampoo. And I do use a separate conditioner, so I also use a cheap conditioner that straight after my shampoo. I don't like, when I had the op, I don't know if you remember, I had my appendix out just after and I was made redundant and I was very ill and I was trying to get my health back, so I was jogging quite a lot after my appendix started healing. Basically, I was trying to get fitter and I was jogging literally every weekday, and then I was going to the gym in the evenings. I lost probably a couple of stone, so I got quite a bit slimmer, which was good. I felt quite good. But yeah, so I was washing my hair every day then, literally every weekday after my jogs and after the gym in the evening. So sometimes I was doing it twice a day. But now 3 times a week, and cheap shampoo now, none of the expensive stuff. So it's up to you though. Try a few different ones yourself. See what you think. See if you think they're worth the extra money. If they are, then go for it. But yeah, that's about it for this one. I've not been on for a while. I've done quite a few travel videos. I was supposed to have been travelling to Sweden and that was obviously cancelled, so I'm just trying to get all my money back for the flights and stuff at the moment. But hopefully be travelling some more once the lockdown and everything's been lifted. As always, any questions, put a comment below or message me through my Instagram page, which again is listed below. Hope you all stay safe out there. Hope you've all got jobs. Your work is going okay. I know this is a really bad time for everyone. You just got to stick in there and look out for each other. Do your social distancing, stay at home whenever you can, and take care. Cheers.